guys, and welcome to Explore the Force Extra. We've had a Skeleton Crew update. What have we got this fine evening, Jimmy?
All right. Well, this morning for me and the afternoon for you guys, it looks like Entertainment Weekly, which has become kind of the hub for Star Wars. It seems like that just
Yeah, it
been dropping
has.
a lot of good things, and I love it too that we have access to it. We don't have to buy access to it, like Empire
Mm.
Magazine, because they do a lot of stuff as well. I think that's based in your country, Empire Magazine. Would make sense because you guys are the evil empire. But
Correct.
so there's a reason that all the bad guys in Star Wars have British accents. I'm just saying, man. I'm just
That's because
saying.
of the best bad guys as
Is
well.
that what it is? Okay. Anyways, we got this new article. Let me see if I can share it here. Star Wars Skeleton Crew exclusive photos reveal Jaleel White as space pirate. You guys don't know who Jaleel White is. Those of you who aren't American may not. You guys had this like reruns of the TV show Family Matters.
No,
Do
I've
you guys
never heard
know
of it.
that? No. Um, so this is a show with a famous character called Urkel. He's this like
Okay.
nerdy kid, real smart. I mean, there's a whole like thing with them, but that's who Jaleel White is. It's a pretty big deal here in the States. It really hasn't been much, but it just says here Star Wars Skeleton Crew will tell the tale of four children who discover a secret and then get into a series of adventures as they attempt to find their way back home to their planet. It seems their journey will pit them against some fearsome foes, namely pirates. And then we kind of got a look and I'm assuming some of this is probably all from the same interview. This is different from the last one we saw.
Hmm.
Entertainment Weekly has exclusive first looks at these space pirates. Now they were, like you said, Jack, while we were off air, they were at what San Diego Comic Con.
San Diego Comic Con, yeah, I think they were at
Yeah.
SDCC, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I believe so. They were
then it
looking
says,
pretty sweet then, but I know there's some characters in the photo that we haven't seen.
yeah.
Um,
So let me zoom in on this real quick. We'll just talk about them first. They look awesome. I'm going to
they
take
look
us off the
amazing.
screen so that we can see that more. But so here you've got Vane. I don't know if can you see my you guys can't see my mouse, but
Yeah, yeah,
Vane.
you're good, you're good.
All right, everyone should know Vane from Mando season 3. He's the pirate that escaped from the big battle at the end. He was what was the Gorian
Oh,
Gorian
yes.
the big boss was the pirate Gorian.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, then you have Gunter, played by Jaleel White. This is the character. This is the young man who played Urkel. And don't worry, I got a funny clip coming for that. But
Nice.
he looks. What do you think about his design? I think it looks pretty cool. He's kind of got this cyborg looking thing. He's
Yeah,
got
he's
like
got he's
a
got
low.
cyborg sort of feel. There is like in one of the Star Wars games that I play as well. There's like yeah, they're classed as machine cyborg sort of thing, so it sort of makes sense. But I think it's the first time apart from oh my god, what's his name from Bespin? Lando's counterpart.
Lobot.
Yeah, Lobot. It sort of looks like Lobot to a degree, doesn't it? So it's got the cybernetics
Yeah.
attached to him.
So
But
this
yeah, it
looks
looks
like
pretty
he's got
sweet.
that attached. Got here. He's got
Yeah,
some stuff on top of his head. He's got this cool looking Saw Gerrera, Darth Vader breather
yeah,
apparatus. Um, but I really like is Brutus here. All right. They've said they've taken inspiration from, the original Cantina scene. So you see a couple characters, especially Brutus here, and what I think is Pax right here. But I love this Wolfman look. You got the red, scary eyes. But look at the blasters. I think this is
looks
something people have
awesome.
overlooked. This looks like old school musket, you know,
Yeah,
uh,
flint pistol.
pirates, but they're all probably going to be like laser blasters. And I think that's going to be
Hmm.
awesome. This is going to lend itself to some amazing cosplay. People like Marie,
Yeah.
Kate from One Scavenger's Wardrobe. Like they're going to come up with some
Oh
really
yeah.
creative stuff. Tiara. Um, as well at Crafting on Ilum. I'm excited to see what they do with some of this new design. And this is fun. Like this looks like a fun. They're pirates, and of course, this is a kids show. So I mean, how violent is it going to be or whatever? But that's
Yeah.
that's Brutus. You can see here he's played by Fred Taskascore, performance artist Stephen Yo Young. Then Pax, I'm assuming is this guy here, back here, the three. What are these
Yes, the
creatures
one with the
called?
three eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
the one with the three eyes.
yeah, the name of the alien is escaping me at this moment for some reason. But Pax as a performance artist is by Mike Estes, and then Chalette or Chout is Dale Souls right here.
Yeah.
Not get a super good view, but this looks like a crew, right? We got this guy. I don't know if this guy doesn't have a name or not. One of the main 4 or 5 pirates, but I just think, what do you think of those characters, Jack?
Yeah, I think they look absolutely amazing. So Pax is a Myra Luca. It's called Myra Luca. He just
Okay,
looks really beaten up. Obviously, he's got two good eyes left
I
with
didn't
his
even
little.
realize he's got a patch over his third eye socket
That's
there. That's
class. It's
awesome.
brilliant. So that's obviously
It
took some damage, but just looking at his teeth as well, like he does look like he's
Yeah,
been like through some sort of war, definitely.
yeah. Well,
So
yeah,
yeah, the detail is class.
yeah, it looks great,
Um,
looks different. I'm excited for it.
I
So,
think I think Chalette's going to be a funny one to watch. I've just got a feeling. I mean, look at the size of the gun for the lady.
yeah,
That is
yeah,
a big gun.
that's a
So
massive blaster.
yeah.
So,
It's sort of Halo esque in a way. You know the Splinter rifle. That's what it
yeah,
reminds me of.
okay.
Um,
Alright.
yeah, I'm liking Gunter. Again, I like the fact now we've seen all the cybernetic stuff coming in, a cyborg kind of feel to it. Vane, we've already
Yeah,
seen, he already looks amazing anyway. But yeah, the
that
standard
guy
of
is
that is
super nice
gorgeous.
too.
Yeah,
Marty Metalis, he was at Rebel ScumCon this
yeah,
past summer. I didn't get to meet him directly, but I got to I was standing beside him. We were in a conversation, and he kind of included me in part of it, and I got to
yeah.
listen to him talk at a couple panels. What a nice guy! Super. I watch him interact with a bunch of kids. Just great dude. I'm excited for him to have
Mhm,
success
mhm.
in the Star Wars universe. He was there. He really couldn't say anything, obviously, but
No, no.
so it was pretty cool though. Um,
Yeah, Brutus is
the
looking sweet, like you
article
mentioned with the pistols.
Yeah, the article goes through. I also read this article here too. Star Wars
Yeah,
Skeleton Crew, Jude Law says Han shot first. So if you want to, folks, you can hop on here, Entertainment Weekly, check that out. This is just a funny article where they discuss, the difference, and what Jude Law thinks, and he's
mhm.
absolutely that Han shot first. But one of the directors, Ford, is sit there and they talk a little bit about all these different characters. And it says here, with Skeleton Crew taking place in the same time frame as shows like The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett, and Ahsoka, after the fall of the second Death Star and before the rise of the First Order, that means that there's a lack of what one might call Imperial enforcement. Naturally, that allows
Yeah,
for nefarious forces to thrive. With the era we're in, we're kind of getting to play with the lawless thing, says Ford. The Empire is gone, and so we're playing with a part of the galaxy that has a resurgence of piracy. Um, excuse me, but yeah, so kind of dealing with the same thing that we seem to be dealing with
yeah,
in all those other shows
yeah,
where it's
yeah.
um just the
Lawlessness.
lawlessness, like everyone's scrambling for, well, that's the wrong one. Everyone's scrambling for the
A bit of the Empire, a bit of credits and stuff like that. It's good,
yeah
and like you mentioned as well, Chris Ford and John Watts, the guys that have wrote the whole series. Like you just read through the article and you're getting the feel. They mentioned in that about it got some inspiration from Monkey Island, the game.
I don't know, do you
Um,
know that game?
yeah, I do kind of. So it's basically like a
Okay,
click and push sort of game. So basically, click something on the screen and the character will walk across to it. So it's like a puzzle game, which is what I'm expecting now. The Skeleton Crew, but in it, if it's like another game I've played as well, it's you're sort of looking for clues on the screen to move on to the next screen, if that makes sense. So this
okay.
is the vibe I'm getting from this is going to be quite a few a few episodes where the characters are just getting through or just escaping in the nick of time, sort of like they mentioned before with the Goonies,
Yeah,
with the piano
that
scene.
that's what yeah, because you're reading that. You As you're saying that, I'm just picturing all those little adventures that they were having down underneath the city
Yeah.
under the Goonies. Which did you see? I posted. They're supposedly coming out with a new movie called Goonies Are Good Enough, and it's going to be 40 years later. I don't know if it's true or not, but oh my gosh, I was
Who
so
knows?
excited. All the main crew is back. It's gonna be pretty awesome. If that really pays
Yeah.
off, that would be phenomenal. But there's
Yeah,
some good
it's
stuff in
good.
here. Well, go ahead. Sorry.
It's good. It's good to see. Like again, that they really are involved with the series. I know it. So I don't want to relate too much to the acolyte. And Leslie Edmund was going about how much she loves Star Wars and did some research, etc. But I'm really starting to get the sense about this. I know, obviously, at first I wasn't keen. I wasn't too sure if it'd work in space. I'm still not quite there, if I'm totally honest. Kids in space and the whole thing being evolved, revolving around the kids. But I'm open minded. We'll see where it goes, see where it takes me. But yeah, having people like Jude Law, who we're going to talk about next, is you're already onto a winner with Jude Law. You know that. You've got the
Yeah, I
interview
mean,
as well.
yeah, we'll play that interview here in a minute. But this Ford says that people would call Han Solo a pirate, and he'd be like, "How dare you?"
Yeah,
And we've seen some awesome pirates in the animated shows. I'm assuming he's talking about Hondo. Do you think there's a chance that Hondo shows up in this?
100%,
Oh
one
my,
hundred
I
percent.
will lose my ever loving mind. Like, I will be screaming on our live shows with the mailman.
Mm,
If Hondo Tanaka, I get to see it. The kids are in a spot, and all of a sudden, this ship shows up, and Hondo's there to rescue them or something.
you can see it.
Um, but it says here that so this was something we are both excited. Uh, we were both Dave Filoni and John Favreau were really excited to do more pirate stuff, and then of course it
Yeah,
talks a little bit about um, your stuff about Monkey Island. Let
yeah,
me see if I
and
can
it's
bring.
good as well because in the article it talks about Dave Filoni being the goalkeeper as well, if you
Yeah,
like. So all the ideas and everything they've got, they're pushing it on, and Dave Filoni's there saying yes, maybe no, maybe try this, or it's done before, or the big thing is they're checking stuff to make sure it makes canonical sense,
yes,
even if
I
that's
like
not a
that part
word.
of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I do. So I'm not going to say it's
yeah,
foolproof because we haven't seen anything yet. But again, if
no,
you've got Dave Filoni involved and he's mentoring them like he was mentored by George Lucas, straight away again, we're heading to the right place, or we're heading in a good direction, I think.
yeah, yeah, I would agree with you. So here we got Nawood, Jude Law's character in the background. You can't really see KB very well,
No.
but Kieran Crater, you got Wim, Ravi, Cobot, Conyers, Fern. You really can't see these kids too well. Neil, you can see, um, but they look like they're like, oh, something's wrong. But if you take a look at what do you think of,
Mm,
'cause you really can't see the kids that well, but just this, got another one of those muskets we talked about. Like it looks like a pirate blaster. And then, of course, you got his gear here kind of looks imperial to me a little bit,
mm.
but it looks, I
Yes,
can picture like that outfit on somebody, and I'm not
I know exactly what you're
sure.
going to say because I'm thinking the exact same person, and
We'll
it
say
reminds
it.
me of DJ. DJ from The Last Jedi.
That's probably who it is then. Yeah, because I'm sitting here looking at this. I'm like, man, I feel like I've
You've
seen
seen it sort of before.
that
Yeah.
kind of gear on someone
Just,
before. How do you how
yeah.
do you feel about like these blasters? Like I know we're going to be in the outer rim, and we haven't really ever been
Yeah.
in that aspect of Star Wars really. Um,
Yeah.
do you feel like there's a big disconnect between like you have like main timeline technology where you've got like these the blasters and things that stormtroopers are using because this will be right after the storm, the
Mm,
fall of the stormtroopers and things, and then your E11 web cannons and all this stuff. And then you got people
yeah.
running around with like blasters that look like they're from the 1500s.
So
I
so
mean,
there's a few things. There's a few things to this, and the Brutus picture's even better for it. But what you've got to remember, okay, is these pistols blatantly look like pirate pistols. That's the whole theme of the show is pirate. They've said it from the start. All in the article, they're going for a pirate look. They've got flintlock pistols. Took the flintlock off, polished it up nicely, added a few things. Now it's futuristic. Now, like you said there, and rightly so, you've got people in the like the Empire with state of the art equipment, etc., etc. These are pirates. They are pirates for a reason. They have no money. That's why they're doing the job that they do. So these weapons could date back to the High Republic era for all we know.
oh
They're
yeah,
old school weapons,
all
aren't
right,
they? Yeah, some of these weapons could be up to date with modifications. They are not going to have the cream of the cream. These aren't Imperials. These aren't rebels that have stolen Imperial equipment. So these weapons that we're seeing and this armor that we're seeing again, Gunter to the right of Brutus or left if you're looking at the screen now, again with his cyborg attachments, they've made this equipment from scratch or stolen it and modified it in some way, and that's what I'm liking. It's nitty gritty. It's not polished and shiny like the Imperial stuff, and that's because as well that needs to be the Empire. That's the Empire's look. The Empire is on the outside clean, polished, happy days. Underneath, it's dirty
Yeah.
and rotten to the core. Now, these pirates on the outside look dirty and rotten, but on the inside, Jude Law, prime example, hopefully, maybe not, is, quite clean to the core.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be it'll be up for debate for a while, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting a
Oh, yeah.
reluctant anti-hero kind of vibe. Um, some other things they talked about in the article, finding the sweet spot was something Watts and Forges, the show creators, were looking to do for the series as a whole, as they created an entirely new world within the already pre-existing one of Star Wars.
Yep.
A world with certain rules that can't be broken. What's great about working at Lucasfilm is that they'll let you know if you've gone outside of the boundaries. Watts says Dave Filoni is our goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Sorry, and he goes on to talk about like, hey, like let's try this, or
Yeah.
hey, this has already been done, so let's try to do this here. And then like you said, not making any mistakes and not breaking canon
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
having people cry about birthdays. We can't have any
Yeah.
more tears over birthdays, so I just can't
No,
handle
we're done
that.
with birthdays.
But I don't feel like
Um,
this is gonna like cross any lines or anything like that. But it says, where are we at here? If you feel like saying and he gets both sides of that because he's talking about um, working with, and I never thought about it this way either. Filoni working with George as a Padawan, having to get
yep.
permission and all these different things to create
Yeah. Yeah.
new and then to pay respect to old. And now he's in a position where people are coming to
He's doing it.
him for the same thing. And I thought, it's just a crazy journey. I would love to. I mean, it'll never happen, but just sit down with Dave and just talk about his journey. Like that would
Could you
be,
imagine?
oh, I don't. Would you rather do that or get to sit down with Mark Hamill?
I'd rather. Oh,
That's a tough, yeah, right?
yeah,
Because
that's a
Dave's
tough
like the
question.
future of Star Wars, and yeah, I don't know. That's
I
a tough one. But
think,
anyways,
I think, and no disrespect, I'd go for Dave Filoni purely because as well, Dave would have more knowledge than Mark Hamill would.
yeah,
I
yeah, for
don't
sure.
think Mark Hamill would have seen like the animated stuff. I don't think he'd have time to, etc. He's got a million
No, he's
other
busy.
projects as well. He's got his fingers in all sorts of pies.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, it is good to see, and it mentions as well, doesn't it, in the article about, and it's unconfirmed. I've seen it a few times already today that there's a new type of Jedi. You know, I don't know if
Mm,
that's going to be the case, but when I look at that picture where he's in front of the kids with his pistol on his belt holster, and that, I start to get Jedi Survivor vibes or Jedi Fallen Order vibes of Cal Kestis when you could have the blaster and the lightsaber
yep.
fighting style. That's what I'm feeling from that. I think that's the sort of style we're going to go down.
Yeah, he looks awesome. Like
It does.
gloves, he's got the work gloves on. I mean, the coat looks fantastic. This patch. I'm wondering what this patch is here. Like if this is like some kind of emblem or some kind of like they stole this off
It's a
another
good
pirate
shout.
gang or
Yeah,
I mean I just there's so much. I mean, and there's also opportunities for Maz Kanata to show up in this.
that's another good shout. Yeah, that's a great
So
shout. Even if they go to the
um
castle.
yeah, I mean that would be very cool. Then we had this short. It's about a minute 45. We'll wait until
Yeah.
this 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 video is over, but I'll take that off the screen until it is. Stop sharing, and then once that
What's
moves
what
on,
what I'm liking as well though about Jude Law, like that clip there where he's looking up and off. It's similar to me. I think that's a cosplay I could pull off. I think Jude Law and me, we look very similar.
so you're saying that you, Jack,
Watch.
are as handsome as the
Do you not see
heartthrob
it?
Jude Law. Oh, there you go. There you go. You could be a stand-in for him. Maybe
I could be a stunt double.
you could be a
Happy.
stunt double.
I'll do it for
Done.
free as well.
Done.
As long as I get
All
my
right,
name
let's watch
etched on
this.
those
Let's
credits.
watch. Let's watch Jack. I mean Jude Law talk about being on Star Wars here. I got you guys confused. I see the resemblance
Easily
now
done. Easily
easily.
done.
So now we know why Mrs. Copestake locked you down. All right, here we go.
Unlike those other two, Star Wars has been in my life for 40 something years, more. And so it was oddly familiar, uh, and yet, still thrilling. There's a huge sequence. I don't know if this is, I'm allowed to say, I'm sure I'm
It's
allowed
gonna
to
be
say this.
thrilling. You're on the Star Wars set.
Early on in a market. And so they filled the market with the characters from Star Wars. So for someone like me, where you see Jawas walking around, or creatures that you've seen in other films, it's like seeing old friends. It's very odd, but there they really are. And honestly, that I think the thing that really captured my imagination, but also surprised me more than anything, was the interaction with the brilliant puppeteers and animatronic experts, because I had a lot of scenes with characters who were either aliens or droids or what have you, and so those things don't just appear. You're doing a scene with, say, 6 people who are operating this puppet, or an animatronics expert who's over here um, commanding the face of the mask in front of you. And that's a whole new thing for an actor. Like, normally as an actor, you're acting opposite another human being. In this case, you're acting opposite an alien, or a droid. And yet there are all these other people creating them while you're filming. And it was a pretty new experience for me.
So we have
Nice.
that. That was pretty cool. All I could think of too was our friend Don, who will be doing a lot of that
Yeah.
work for Legacy
Yeah.
Effects. Her and Tamara, you know, we had Dawn on the show twice now, I think. So
Yeah, she's due to come on again soon, I think.
yeah, she said she'd be happy to come on. So that's exciting after the Skeleton Crew airs, because we can't really ask her any questions until
No.
afterwards. So,
I'm
but
waiting.
yeah, I mean, any final thoughts, Jack? I'm excited. I know this was not. I mean, Grant, you've been honest about not this hadn't been for you at first. Like I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you were at one point you didn't think it was actually going to come out.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Given that we're getting this slow burn build up, because I was actually going to mention something on the main show. Was like, man, we haven't heard anything about the Skeleton Crew since that little trailer. So they know what they're doing, I guess. But
Yeah.
so where are you at now on your scale of
Yeah.
Skeleton
I'm
Crews?
just slow and steady with it. I'm sort of in the middle. I think the proof for me will be when I've actually sat down and watched it. Like I say, I'm quite
Yeah,
open-minded
that's
as
fair.
it is. I'm loving the aesthetic of everything though. The pirate theme, it's in space, obviously. So we're going to be seeing a lot of ships. I love all the bounty hunter stuff, as people know. So I am excited, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I've been excited for it. As soon as they said Amblin and Goonies, I mean, I was done. Um, but I love like you said, the aesthetic looks phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
I want to see how it plays into, because there's still going to be remnants of the Empire and things like that running around. So I kind of want to
Yeah.
see how it plays into that. I want to see how it plays into what we've called the Filoni verse or the Mando verse. And again, I would think that my only reservation is the kid actors in the dialogue, right?
Yes.
Because I mean, some of my
Yeah, that's my
issues
big
with
thing at the
the
minute.
Acolyte were the delivery. They're kids. I mean, there's very few kids that are just like ready to go on to Broadway or to be on a big screen. It's a tough business,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt, like you said, and we've also seen too, because we reported on this before, like Jude Law like took those kids, from what we understand, like took those kids under his wing and or helping them
Mm-hmm.
out and trying to help them. This is what you need to do in this scene. This is what you do in that scene. So that's my only reservation, is like, what's the acting gonna be like, and what level of campiness is it gonna have? Like, is it
Yeah.
really gonna be geared towards kids, or is it gonna be somewhere in the middle, like a Goonies, like a kids
Yeah.
movie, but entertaining enough for adults to really like it. Like the Lego
Yeah.
special we
Yeah.
just talked about. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for it. I
Mm.
mean, I'm always down for new Star Wars. We'll watch it start to finish,
Yeah.
and then we'll wait until the season's over before we pass judgment on it. Unlike most of the Star Wars fandom, but yeah, I'm excited for it. I can't wait. I'm excited to you know watch it with my wife
Yeah.
and my buddy Tim, and then hop on and talk Skeleton Crew. So
Yeah. For sure. As well, just for the listeners, again, let us know your thoughts, feelings, and comments below. As always, let us know on the socials, Explore the Force, or one word, on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, Threads, and YouTube. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. The community is growing super fast. So get on board. Don't miss that. So from from myself, thank you very much for joining us. May the force be with you.
And for all of us, and for all the pirates, and we have spoken. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Jude Law.
Jude Law. Oh, Lord.